Good evening, and welcome to the first edition of the Lowell Power Hour. We are finally here.
Finally.
Oh, you do like 10 shows
I know, right?
a week.
I feel like we're here again.
What do you mean here again?
You getting deja vu?
I like deja vu. Yeah, exactly.
You ever heard of a dry run? Crap show, you know, these things?
Your wife has.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, we did the hood.
That,
Oh, my God.
that is not getting it
This
done.
joke keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
That's not...
What's wrong with the horn? Let me see the horn.
Oh, my.
What is going on?
All right, we're back. We're good. We need our props.
All right.
That's unbelievable.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Power Hour,
Wait,
the
wait.
Lowell Power Hour.
Double check the bell.
Bell is good.
All right, we're good. We're good.
Athenian Corners in the house. We're ready to roll here. The Lowell Power Hour. That's the name of the show.
Yeah.
It was the Asa and Batch show. Then it was the Power Hour.
And now it's the Lowell Power Hour.
The Lowell Power Hour.
Brought to you by Inside Lowell. If you haven't joined the website, get on it.
What a company, man. This guy is.
InsideLowell.com. All our content is there. YouTube videos, articles, news updates, everything you need about Lowell right there.
Feel free to share the videos on YouTube and online.
Make sure you comment. Don't forget to like them.
You two are just total sellouts. We used to, freewheel a little bit. Now you're both company, man.
Sellout, eh? How's your
By the way,
looking back?
when you, it's a slow build, Teddy
Listen,
said.
Okay.
there's no invoices coming to your house for this one.
Yes, so some of you may have listened to our show back in WCAP back a long time ago. Was that about 3 months ago?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
We had a good run.
We would find
Maybe
that.
more if you
Good.
listened to us, we wouldn't, we'd still have a show. A nice coffee shop attached to it. Now we're locked out.
I don't.
Maniacs.
The view's not that good.
The view up here?
Yeah.
No, it's not. We had
Listen,
action. Lowell's pretty active tonight. I'm just going to tell you. I was out there waiting for you.
Yeah.
It's wild. The moped dirt bike crew gangs are out there. We got some crazy street people.
People just waiting to come in the building without even acknowledging anything.
They didn't say thank you to you, did you?
No,
Like they're
what-
probably robbing the place.
No, I know what they're doing. There's a counseling service in the building, so I'm guessing they were going there. They do family counseling. That's why That's why they were so dysfunctional.
They were a little off, but I mean, look at the three of us.
But they could have said, "Hey,
I mean, come on. They were looking at them like, look at these three
two
morons.
brothers and me." Anyways,
All right, yeah, we're here. We're doing it live. We used to have a fun show on Tuesday nights, but that's no more. We've moved it on up. And when you said this show was brought to you by, I thought for sure you were going to say Local 2321, best union in the Lowell.
Typically, I let Batch handle that part.
But that you just give them up, huh?
no, they're a sponsor.
Saying
IBEW Local 2321.
of the Inside Lowell.
Yeah, they were the first.
Oh, good, nice.
They were the first sponsor.
All right, well, shout out to them. They're very, very
I
good
think they
people.
come up in the scroll down below.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We're on. Oh, yeah, we're on TV, by the way. So,
How do you like that, Asa? I feel like
Look at
I
this.
feel like very. I feel like
look
you
at
feel
my
very
head.
comfortable with
Look
it.
at these like Hollywood lights. Like I got a shiny bald head, but this is like waxed.
By
It's
the
not
way,
good.
if people want to know, if they want to, the space on our foreheads is available for advertising.
Oh, we can do that. Yeah.
Yes,
What are you gonna put on yours?
Guinness, maybe Old Court,
Philip
maybe.
Morris.
Raytheon.
Oh,
Raytheon.
No,
we will get to Raytheon later.
we can do ball. What do you call it? Ball peen.
Whoa, family show here.
No.
Let's keep it clean, Batch.
Pens.
Depends.
No, the pens.
Oh, I was like, that's the old station. I'm sorry, what?
Bic pens.
Bic pens.
Bic with a B.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So it's election eve. Although this show is going to be released tomorrow morning. So if I was a professional, I would say, hey, good morning. It's election morning here.
They're not going to release it tomorrow, are they?
Why not?
On election day.
We're going to talk about the elections. Probably
By the way.
a good idea.
Do you really want?
Well, now you're really screwing me up because I'm supposed to do the election show with Teddy. But if this is after it, we're going to be in the past, in the future situation deal here.
Don't make this like a Star Trek episode.
You
Can't do the
Can I promote tomorrow's election show, or will it already be over?
I don't know. The time space
And
continuum.
by the way,
I don't know how it works.
we're going
on
to make some
YouTube.
election predictions, and it's going to look really stupid when it comes out the day after.
I don't know. I'm feeling
that
very
way.
Pulp Fiction-y right now.
Oh yeah, this is like a new style of.
The show could be brought to you
directing.
by one of the weed dispensaries in Lowell. Just saying. Throwing it out
So
there.
one of them's kind of changed names a bunch of times already.
Really? Which one?
So I think I don't know because they're all. It's like banks. It's how to keep track of who's who now.
So there's certain bank locations that are just, I'm sure it's a Ponzi scheme or something. They just changed their name. It's always like some like beach in Maine, Bar Harbor, and now it's this Egg Harbor. And I'm like, what's going on here?
Have they done an IPO for any of these yet? These weed companies?
An IPO?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Shoot.
Well, it's not the local ones, it's the big national ones. But they're getting hammered. Like they've gotten crushed.
Yeah, but I bet at some point they're going to do well.
Are you a little worried that they're going to be like Froyo, where everyone decided that Froyo and open up a shop on every corner is a great idea?
I told my kids, I'm like, if you can somehow bet against the local frozen yogurt shop, you'll be rich.
It just seems like they're going to oversaturate the market here. I mean,
maybe the key is to have.
They've lowered prices, though. I know from a street weed dealer I talked to today. Not me. I don't indulge.
They have driven the market?
Yes, they've driven it down. They put my guy out of business.
Does he identify himself as a market driver?
He identifies himself as a Van Halen fan.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, there you go.
That
I feel like I know who you're talking
I thought the price was still. I thought the price was still lower because of the taxes.
It was, well, they went. I'm talking about something I know nothing about.
The prices are lower with a street dealer? What do you mean?
So the price. So
I smoked weed since 2003, so I'm not really an expert here, but
when weed first came, like when it was first legal, the price was pretty high because of the.
it was super high,
taxes.
and the taxes. No, and it was just capitalism.
Yeah, so you're
So it was super high.
street
and they
dealer.
lowered it a bit. The taxes are still high, but it's reached.
It
If
was
you have your
about.
medical card, it's a lot cheaper, actually.
I think it was 10
It's
or
like 40% cheaper.
yeah, it was about 20% cheaper recreational on the street if you got it from the street.
Yeah.
How'd you get us onto this topic?
I don't know.
Let's just talk about the election.
Sponsorship.
Oh, you know what? The future. You see, you're the hippie here, not me.
I'm not the future. But no, I was gonna say though, what a good idea might be is if you can get Froyo and mix it with weed.
And short them both.
Yeah.
Short parlay.
No, maybe it'll take off.
You got to hit it on the way up, and then just know when to jump ship.
They had a good documentary on Netflix about the GameStop thing.
Oh yeah. Well, all those
really?
people are gonna take a bath anyway. What are they, you know? What I mean? Like,
I feel bad for them though. When it hit like $3, I haven't seen that, but I want to watch that. But when it hit like $3, $4, $500 a share, like to get out.
yeah, you're an
when
idiot
you-
not to get out, right?
But-
They're like,
but you-
hold the line,
But
right?
you couldn't, right? Like they froze all transactions. Like you couldn't get out.
They did screw over at least
Big
one
time.
a hedge fund.
Robinhood, the free trading firm there.
Yeah, they've
But that wasn't the hedge fund that got smoked.
No. The hedge fund got smoked, and then Robinhood.
yeah
I
because
suppose I should watch the documentary, but
Robinhood betrayed their
Robinhood had all
promise.
the young day traders, all the kids that started doing it during COVID, but all those kids that owned that stock that had that profit couldn't sell it because they froze the transactions.
No,
While
they-
they froze it, the hedge funds were able to get out a little bit
they
cheaper.
sold they froze the buy button, not the sell button, so you could sell, but you couldn't buy anymore. So
No, you couldn't sell. You sell, yeah.
yeah, I just watched it yesterday.
It's wrong. I'm telling you, people could not sell their shares. Young people, the COVID generation. I'll watch it, but I'm certain of that. They
That's
couldn't
just
get
probably
out.
right. They probably froze the buy
Right, 'cause they-
to
yeah, 'cause
stop
they-
the price from going up. So
I get that too, but you couldn't sell it either.
those hedge funds were betting against it. So when that price inflates, that's the more money they lose. It amplifies their
Right.
loss.
I think we're both right, though. I know that
You probably
people
are both
couldn't
right to an
get
extent.
out. They couldn't get out
I don't
with a
remember.
huge profit too.
Well, I think they couldn't. What happened was that once they stopped the buy button, the price went down, and then they were going to lose money if they got out.
no way, because it was $500 a share.
Yeah,
They bought it like 20.
freezing the buy helped those hedge funds.
Oh, for sure.
Stop the bleeding.
For sure.
They got croaked, but they could have got croaked significantly worse. But all those people that bought that stock's a losing stock anyway.
Of course it is. It is. It's the
A
frozen
handful
yogurt
of people in
stuff.
that movement will cash out at the right time.
Yeah, the right
rest,
people-
The rest of them
yeah.
are all going to take a bath.
A few people made big money, and the rest you get in late, So,
Still.
do you really want to talk about the election? I could kill us. What's there really to talk about?
What's the big election tomorrow?
It's not that big though.
It's enormous.
pretty big.
It's the biggest thing happening. Like,
Biggest election we've seen in a while.
if you listen to the Democrats, the democracy's on the line. Like if the Democrats
It's
don't
amazing,
win,
right? If you don't
this
vote
is
for
it.
us,
Like,
the country ends. Like, democracy's over.
It's
when
not
did
gonna
they
be-
start this? Like,
It's not going to be close though, is it? I mean, it is kind
well, it's
of.
always close.
I think
yes,
I think it's a red wave tomorrow.
but even a red wave is like 52 Republican senators. Like that's fairly close.
Yeah, I think they'll lose control.
I put some chump change on Mehmet Oz.
Did you?
Minus 220, which is probably a horrible bet.
Oh yeah, you bought high.
I bought way high.
What'd you do that on?
I can't.
Robinhood.
No, because you can't do it on. You
We can
can't.
discuss post
Sell that while you can.
I don't think you can do it on.
Just because they're not a sponsor yet.
You can't do it on. Anyways,
If we get a sponsorship, we'll talk.
Oh, there you go.
I'm guessing he went overseas with that one, maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
I've learned. Well, actually, we haven't learned. Like every time we did a radio show, we admitted some sort of crime. So we'll just stop doing that.
Dark web.
Do you know what the dark web is?
Do I know what it is?
Yeah, YouTube badge.
Yeah, it's all where all the fun stuff is, right?
I know, but like,
Oh, how to get there?
yeah.
Don't you just type in dark web?
No, no.
I have no
Silk
idea.
Road. Do I take the Silk Road?
I have no idea.
You're right. There's something like that, but I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea how to get on the dark web. Neither of you
I
guys.
have no, I have no idea.
I don't think there's
I'm
a
afraid to
specific
even.
path
I'm
to the
afraid to
dark
even
web.
Google search how to do it. Like I don't want anything to do with it.
It's not illegal.
We better turn on a VPN.
Joking.
Some things are worse than illegal.
No, I don't. I have no idea. I have no
You
idea.
hit the wrong button. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't need to hire a hitman at this point, but like, that's what the dark web is, right?
All right, let's talk about the closest election tomorrow. Let's get off of the dark web. No one knows how to get there. No one knows where you're going.
Someone listening to this is actually we
We got to get
Hey,
we got to
hey.
get feedback. We got to get
I'm not saying we do it
Listener
now,
feedback.
but we've got Teddy's computer here, so if
Dark
we don't
web.
get into trouble, it'll be him.
just say to the microphone, access dark web.
Welcome back, Teddy.
Teddy P.
We'll use the chamber computer for that one.
We'll make some real money.
Yeah.
All right, so the election, you bet on Dr. Oz, huh?
I did.
Did you bet? Was it right after that debate? Did that tilt your opinion?
It was a couple days ago. I don't know. It's just an impulse move. There was another race I bet too, and I can't remember which one it was.
What a crapper.
Herschel Walker?
You look it up. Go ahead. You guys can talk.
Was it a Senate race?
Yeah.
Was it Herschel Walker?
What a bad race, though. Your choices between a guy that's had a stroke and Dr. Oz. It's just.
Dr. Oz is the biggest fraud.
God.
And he's actually a perfect politician.
Did you hear Fetterman on Roe v. Wade?
Yeah, he's like all for it.
We're going to destroy Roe v. Wade, and Roe v. Wade being taken down is a great thing, and I'm going to help to take down Roe v. Wade. And
Did he say that?
he's out of his mind.
didn't mean
He's
to
saying all
say
the
it, but yes, he
opposite of
said
what
it. It's-
Same thing with fracking, right? He's like, I'm for fracking, and I support fracking, and I'm for fracking.
Maybe he's going to win after all.
Okay.
And he's got everything covered right there. He covers all positions.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean,
Well, it's going to be so close that there's a couple different things that could happen.
This one could take a couple days, eh?
Well,
Is Philly going to have a wave of 100% Fetterman ballots just
here we
flooded
go.
into the
Here
last
we go.
minute? I'm just curious.
Asa Han.
Just out of it.
But no, if it comes, it could. There's all these individual races that could swing it, like one way or the other. Maggie Hassan losing could be the one that does it. Dr. Oz winning. Herschel Walker winning. By the way, yes. Did you watch Herschel Walker's debate? He's worse than Fetterman.
Oh, Herschel's pretty bad. Yeah.
And that there should be like an intercontinental debate. We get Fetterman versus Herschel Walker, and then you get Dr. Oz versus Raphael Warnock. Like that seems like a fair fight.
yeah.
We should want to host.
By the way, I took Blake Masters too. Minus 135.
Minus 135. He's an underdog. You're getting terrible. You're a sucker.
We'll see about that tomorrow.
Don't bet with your heart. You listen to too much Ben Shapiro.
Do I?
Yeah. And what's the other? You like that
Who do I like? I love that.
Jordan Peterson.
When does Jordan Peterson talk about politics? By the way?
I've never listened to him. I just,
okay.
I hate all.
So you're just talking
Sure, you're picking names.
I'm not. Actually, I probably agree with everything he says, but all these intellectual,
I see Asa for like half
smarmy
an hour
people,
every
I
other
just,
week.
I hate them.
What are you talking about?
I hate them.
You don't like intellectuals.
No, I don't like it. I really genuinely
You
don't.
and all your smartness.
I like Dunkin' Donuts in downtown Lowell, which, by the way, if you work there right now, you should be getting hazard pay. Because
Oh, it's gnarly
tough
up there.
scene down there, man. I mean, really,
Yeah.
you should make $30 an hour working the register.
It should be like a liquor store in the hood where they have the bulletproof glass. and
Yes,
like
it should.
The bank drawer that you pass open. Maybe you can put the coffees in there and,
just give you like a ladle.
slide
just
them
kinda
out.
Scoop your own.
Yeah.
I can say though, because when sometimes I'd be downtown at for the other thing we used to do, if you come in the morning and come down at like 5:30, 6 o'clock, the people that worked in those Dunkin' Donuts were really nice. They put up with a lot of stuff, and they were great about it. They were really nice. I mean, they deserve hazard pay, that's for sure. But it's just kind of
I'm saying, if I was hiring someone and I saw that on their resume, like absolutely, like
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
if you can work downtown little Dunkin' Donuts, you can do anything.
Although the only one better might be the other one on the end of Central Street there.
That's still one of my favorite memories of all time.
No,
When we
that was
started-
pretty easy compared to this one.
Have you ever been there? Like in the early in the morning? When we used to go to the radio station when it was over by Cappy's Copper.
Yeah, right.
Dude, you go in there, it's just people sleeping and it's
No,
wild
I
scene.
used
And
to
you
go
gotta-
in there on my way to work.
And you got to make sure if you're
was
going to offer a cigarette to one person, you got to make sure you offer it to two, right?
No, I'm an expert here. Just
Starting the battle of the streets over a cigarette.
so Republicans gonna win?
Absolutely.
House and Senate?
Yeah. Won't even be close.
Probably, yeah.
All right, we're inside Lowell, so we should probably talk about Lowell. Couple local races.
I think
The
they're all-
only contested one is the state rep race with Rodney Elliott.
Yeah, he'll win
Is
that one.
it Carla Miller?
Yeah. That'll be easy.
How much does he win by? This will be the theme.
I think
Han started us with the trend here. We're gonna head in this direction.
he like 2-1 maybe.
No, that's
No.
yeah. Well, it's like 66-33.
I think so.
But we know
That's not impossible.
Massachusetts is a heavy blue state, but I actually think that even though I wouldn't pick Deal at all, I think that he'll outperform, what people think he would perform.
I was talking to people today that
I think-
listen to Republican talk radio all day long, just stuck. They get stuck in a bubble, and they're nice people, but and it's like they think Deal's gonna win.
Yeah, but there's 6 of them.
Yeah, I can't.
Well, no,
Like, I think Deal's going to lose. But I think,
dude, you gotta watch out for that bubble, man.
I think
I've been
people
sucked into
assume
it.
that he's going to get smoked, and I think that he'll probably outperform.
What does outperform mean?
He-
If he wins 55-45
oh, God.
I think that's outperforming.
for him.
For him, yeah, absolutely.
So if he gets 45%, he outperformed.
yeah.
Yes.
If he gets,
All right.
I think if he gets,
I was thinking maybe 40 might be outperforming.
I think if he gets
Expectation.
30 to 35, I'd be shocked. That'd
Oh,
be-
I think he's going to. I think he'll probably.
He'll get, no,
range
yeah.
of
I mean,
40.
he's got. If ever, I mean, Republicans do win. You got Baker,
Yeah.
yeah, but this guy's no
Lucci, Weld, like
Romney.
Rom. Yeah. Like,
But he's not like that though.
he's not. No, he's.
Well, if they didn't have that strange civil war within the small group of Republicans in Massachusetts,
I know, they
I wonder
just-
how different it might be.
I've never. What is it?
Trump, man.
It's Trump,
anything that has Trump in it, just
And Trump going after DeSantis the other day,
we'll get
I
there.
don't like it.
But the mass Republican Party is inept. I mean, they've done nothing with Baker in there. Like they should have been able to build some kind of.
Well, Batch, when they make these decisions, they have like a quorum meeting of 3 people.
Well, that's just it, right? So, question 1. What do you think?
That the millionaires tax,
Yeah, I
it's
don't.
gonna pass. Like it's Massachusetts, it's going
It's
to
an
pass.
awful
I think it'll be closer than you think.
How about the illegal immigrants? Question 4: driver's license.
I don't know.
Well said.
What do you think? I don't know. I think it's.
Massachusetts, it's gonna pass. So I guess you want to vote no if you're against it.
I think that won't be close.
That's the difference in the wave. You know what I mean? If that one is really close or if it went down, it means that Deal put up 46 and made it a real close race.
I gotta say though, these questions, such a dumb idea. Letting people just vote on stuff.
You don't like democracy?
Not really. I like representative democracy, but letting
I agree with Batch on this one.
majority vote important stuff, stupid. Just stupid.
By the
funny.
way, question 1, that money could just go to the general fund, correct? Like they
Oh,
promised it.
for sure.
Well, no, they'll end up. It's supposed to be tied to education, so they'll just take whatever money goes to education and
Supposed to,
then take that and
right.
leave that in the general fund.
Yeah.
By the way, if there's one thing that doesn't need more money is education. All
Yeah,
they
right.
do is blow it.
Are you guys
Slow down
spending
now.
that? You guys spending that money yet or not yet?
five more administrators?
For me, I'm in a mixed bag position because clearly, in theory, that money would be, supporting my crew. But at the same time, I just think that wealth taxes are horrible ideas. I think you should fund education anyway. But to have a wealth tax is just a terrible idea because rich people can just leave.
Can you
And
imagine-
They do. We can look at New York. We can look at California. We can look at France when they put a wealth tax and your 40,000 most wealthy people in France said, "See you later."
Can you imagine how expensive education would be if it was actually 12 months a year instead of 9? If it was full time.
I just think that
I just think you guys should have a little bit of extra money to buy some more coffins to scare the parents so they don't send their kids to school.
Oh, here we go.
Speaking of that, you know what? I'm not going to derail us here, but
You want to get me going on COVID?
well, hey, COVID is on the ballot, right? It's sort of
They're trying to make that come back. They really are. I
Who?
keep seeing the news stories all the
Emily
time.
Oyster.
It's just, yes,
The Emily Oyster article.
By the way, I looked up her name. It's Emily
Like
Damn
host,
it, Oster?
Oh, okay.
I added a Y in there, so it's not Emily Oyster.
It's too bad because that's a great name.
Yeah, screw it. She's Emily Oyster from here on out. Yeah, she. Off topic. Off mic. We had a little conversation talking about a piece that Emily Oyster wrote for the Atlantic, saying there should be a COVID amnesty. We were trying to do the right thing, and we've made a lot of mistakes, but everyone should just call it even and move on. And the people like us say, you don't get to decide that. You know what I mean?
You want retribution?
You guys butchered this. I'm not allowed for retribution, but how about an apology? Let's start with that, and then we'll go from there.
Oh, we need much more than apology. That's a little soft by you, man.
I feel bad for Han because this notebook I have right here, right? I couldn't find any paper to write down show notes. It's an old notebook I haven't used since COVID and right before COVID. And I've got written down here, it's like, ripping on Charlie Baker. Like it's all jokes. Like, you know, when you write jokes to these politicians, this is like just write something down. It's not polished, but there's like jokes in here. I'll give you one batch in a minute there. But I lost my train of thought. This Charlie Baker joke.
You're feeling bad about Han.
Yeah, so Han was with us the entire time, right? Like on board. No one got more crap than you, just because you were in the teachers union. You were in the teachers union, but talking to us and just taking daggers every week.
I think you made a lot of friends over at Little Life Feed, though.
They love me over at the little.
But I'm saying he's on the right side of history for COVID.
Yeah,
but he's in the teachers union, so we're just destroying
all
him
those people that called me a monster and a murderer for not wanting to inject my child with,
And then you come to the show and we yell at you for being a teacher.
Yeah,
No matter what you did, you were wrong.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I was wrong all day long.
Can you believe these teachers? Blah blah blah. Yeah. Han, my wife, his wife, they're all teachers.
That's the core value.
Them. They're cool.
The core value of our show. Just piss off everybody.
Hey, you want some random notes from 2000? This must have been like early COVID.
Oh, this should be good. What, the vaccine works? Let me guess. They have this new vaccine that theoretically works.
It'll be over by Christmas.
Yeah.
What do you call 13 liberals hiding under a bed from COVID? A Charlie Baker's dozen.
Oh.
This is a capsule into.
Here we go.
You were mad at Charlie Baker. I remember that.
I was very, very much mad.
Let's see. Again, this is just raw. This is unpolished jokes. This is just. I liked Baker. I wrote a joke for that he told at the St. Patrick's dinner. He butchered the joke. He treated my joke like it was a mass nursing home resident. Too hard, yeah. Maybe
good.
that's why we didn't.
It's pretty good.
Too much?
No, I mean,
This is raw emotion from the March of
2020.
whatever the hell it was. All right. You know what? I'll find another one for you. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
By the way, we need to get that board. How do we get the board on camera?
You move a camera.
All right, ready? By the way, this is the kill shot.
Yeah.
That is just...
Look at that.
If you guys make me mad, I mean, I take the worst of it. This is going down with the ship. Look at that. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, but it's bad on me. It's bad on you, too, though.
But look at me. It's rough.
Don't look at the camera.
I have to be a cameraman and a host here. It's, I don't know. I'm not getting paid enough. All right, local races. So we think Rodney's going to crush it. Yeah. It's a serious question. Would Rodney win this race if he was a Republican?
Well, it depends on who he's running against.
I'm going to say yes.
Say it was Zoe Zaniku, right? She ran a pretty close
I think she'd win.
primary race. She's the Democrat. Rodney was the Republican.
Yeah,
I think he
I almost feel like these two don't
win.
butt heads on a whole lot of topics. I mean, I know they butt heads on question one.
I think if she had 2 more weeks in that election, she would have won.
I mean, I don't disagree with much that she had to say.
That was close. It was real close.
I got Jerry Nutter jokes. You want one of those?
What, from 2020?
I don't know. I think that maybe 2019 too. All right, I got to proofread that before I read it. Yeah. So
Good idea.
Rodney. All right, here's reality.
56.
This is a good year for Republicans in America. Doesn't really matter much in mass. The Democrats will take it all. Diana DeZoglia will be auditor. Maura Healey's going to be.
She'll be a good auditor.
She will do a good job. Yeah. She's going to have the closest race though. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty moderate dude she's going up against.
I think she'll do fine.
What else do we have? You got Bill Galvin. Is he on the ballot?
He always wins.
I like
All
Bill
right.
Gavin.
Yeah.
Whenever a race gets close, he gets grumpy and mean. I like it. He's an old-fashioned, angry dude.
There is the Packy one, the liquor store one, or whatever it is.
What's that one?
I think it's either question 3 or 2. I forget which one. One's about the dentist. One's about the
Question 2 is the dentist thing, right?
yeah. So 3 must be the one about the Packies.
Okay.
Not the package, but they're trying to get. Basically, they're trying to. It sounds like they're trying to make sure you can buy more places you can buy booze.
Yeah. Hey, man, have you done any research on the wealth tax, by the way?
Hold on, I'm admiring my work. All right, you have to remember the scandals going on at the time, okay?
Here we go.
All right. A few days ago, Jerry Nutter sent me a message asking if we were going to do some roast jokes on the air. So I guess you can either thank Jerry or blame him for tonight. The truth is, the last election did not go the way Jerry wanted, but much like California Congresswoman Katie Hill, he went down swinging. Come on, I'm going to laugh at my own joke on that one.
That's a good Katie Hill
That's
reference.
right.
That's a good rate. What year was that? That must have been 2020, too. 2020 also.
I feel like it was longer than that.
There's another part to this, but
I don't know. I would have.
I actually knew Jerry's campaign was in trouble when I heard that Dave Nagel bet on him to finish in the top 3. I'm not trying to hate on anyone. This is the time capsule.
Ouch.
There's a batch joke in here somewhere, too. I lost it. All right, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, so Democrats are going to sweep Mass. You think it'll be closer than...
I think that the Republicans are going to outperform, I guess, what projections would be, even though...
If they did that, then I think Diana DeZoglia would be the only one actually in trouble. Lori Trahan, what's a good number for her?
60.
60-40? Yeah, that seems about right.
7, yeah, maybe a little higher than that.
I'm going up. I'm going 66%.
Yeah, 60.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
It feels like more of a 60 year than a 66.
Good timing on delivering some money to the city, too.
Yeah.
Politicians are good at that.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Smooth move.
How about, so, anyone that's listened to our show before, we have I say we have a lot of Ukraine updates for our random AM radio show in Lowell. We got to give one, right?
Yeah. What's going on?
Give one? Full update?
Do it. Let's go.
All right, Russia, when we left you last, Batch was single, my mouth was numb, and Ukraine was beating the hell out of Russia.
So nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed. Still not. I still haven't gotten my feeling back in my face here. Been playing hurt.
The lisp is improved, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
That first week was rough.
You're not as Sidney Brady as you used to be.
That first week was like, that was my bloody sock game. Just trying to get through that one.
He had a bit of Fetterman in him.
Oh, it was Asa Fetterman. I forget what I was trying to say, but it wasn't going well.
Everything.
But hey, our show, maybe the only show in America that predicted Ukraine was going to straight up win this war. Give us some credit. Come on.
It's not over yet.
Oh, come on. You're going to bail now? You've been with me the whole time.
I'm just saying it's still.
Russia's done. Done.
It's almost been a year though.
What's the holdup with the power structure in Russia just taking Putin out on their own?
They are building up. He's the most secure person on earth. He's got rings. He's got old school Praetorian Guard type protection.
Historically speaking.
And he lives in a bunker.
Penetrate inside that inner ring. And
Oh, no. He legitimately lives in a bunker. Have you seen the pictures of him before the war started or during COVID when he's sitting at a table that's about a mile long and the generals, like, that's not an accident. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, you can't get near him.
there's no slipping a briefcase underneath the table and walking out?
No.
No, if you did it, the table's too big. This table's enormous.
You'd have to like slide it all the way down.
There's not one Russian guy who's willing to take one for the team here?
Well, well, we'll see because
These are the Russians. They're used to throwing
I feel like,
bodies after bodies
no
at things.
problem,
Afghanistan,
well, that's what they're doing right now. You said it exactly right. The Russian army is shattered. Like, they're smashed. People still think, and it's fine because people think Russia is Russia. It's the second most powerful army in the world. They're nothing. They're a joke. It's all built on a lie. Like, they have a ton of artillery and old Soviet weapons and tanks.
6,000 nukes, by the way.
If they work.
It is a Trump.
Their army isn't what it said it was.
Yeah.
Their navy isn't what it said it was. They're special forces got annihilated in the
Pretty sure
first
they're
48
I'm
hours.
pretty sure it's safe to say that
Everything,
they're
their
doing
Air
smart.
Force, they don't have air superiority.
Well, their missile defense system's working great, no?
No, they're not. They're really not. We'll get to that too, Mr. Raytheon.
No, the HIMARS are winning.
And there's a new wrinkle to that. I will get to that because we got to shout out to the Raytheon people listening to the show here. That's our local. Andover's still big Raytheon place, right? And
Last I heard,
Yeah, I think so.
actually, headquarters jumped ship, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Lexington moved because I was at a soccer game recently and it wasn't Raytheon down there anymore. I don't know if they moved or whatever. But either way, everything about Russia is a lie. It's all built on a lie. You saw it with Chernobyl. It's just eventually the lies catch up with you. Russia does not have an army that they thought they had. They don't have the weapons they thought they have. They don't have anything. And they're straight losing a war to Ukraine. Sure, it's a lot of American weapons and the whole world and NATO is supplying them, but we're giving them and they're doing the fight and they're winning. They're winning and it's not going to change. The more, like you said, they just throw bodies, right? Stalingrad, World War II. It's a meat grinder. They just throw people. It's what they're doing right now with these mobilized, their recent draft from a month ago. I read it all day long. These people are just, they send 3 Russian troops with 2 guns, like World War II. The guy, sorry, we don't have enough guns, so one of you is not going to make it anyways.
No.
They're doing that right now. It's 2022. This is the Russian army. They have, so the big thing that's going to happen is the city of Kherson. Kherson, yeah, I'll describe it. It's like the city of Lowell. It's got a river below it. So like Pawtuckettville and Centerville is Kherson, but it's a much bigger city. It's like 300,000 people. It's the only city that Russia took in the entire war. And they took it because the local governor or mayor just handed it over. He was a Russian dude. There wasn't a fight. Everywhere else in the country, they all fought. This is the only capital city that they took because they get given to them. They are surrounded, completely surrounded, and Russia has blown up. Ukraine has blown up all the bridges behind them. So you can walk over and you can take a truck over, but you can't take a tank over, and you can't bring any heavy artillery or towed weapons or anything. And in the last couple of days, Russia has said, we're leaving. They took all their good troops are trapped there. They're walking out.
They still have good troops?
A few, but their invasion force is annihilated. And people just think, Russia's going to really start trying soon. It's like, no, there's no trying. They don't have anyone. They don't have the weapons. They're done.
See, I get worried that they'll get desperate.
They are desperate. They
they'll
just
use
don't know they're
they'll use a
desperate.
couple of
The
attack
front
nukes here and there.
lines, these front line guys, they intercept every single call going back to Russia. There's no communication. It's like walkie-talkies or phone calls. I can pull it up right now and listen to it. And it's always the same thing. It's like, we're just trapped here. Our commanders left. We have barely any weapons. They're killing each other, like, not on purpose. It's friendly fire city all day long, the entire front line. They just drop these new recruits in the front line, and they have no idea which way is which, who's fighting who's firing. They don't know anything. It's a disaster. And so it only gets worse and worse. Eventually, the winter is hitting right now in Ukraine. Russia will not survive the winter. The Russian army is done. By March, it's over.
I feel like some guy from Germany said that once.
A guy from France, too, actually. But no, this is...
Listen, I hope you're right,
Hey, I'm saying, I thought Putin would get taken out by July 4th. Hand up, I was wrong. A little ambitious on that one, but everything else has been pretty right. And I'm telling you, Russia's army will not survive the war. Now it's all about, should we start talking and negotiating? Start negotiating.
They should.
The only person that wants to negotiate truly is Putin because he wants to freeze the war right where it is right now. Right? Negotiations mean everyone stop, freeze. He wants that because he still has taken some land. Technically, he still has Kherson. When he loses that, it's going to be devastating to them. It's going to happen in a week.
I would stop with Crimea. Let them keep Crimea, call it.
Well, that's where it gets weird because Kherson, they're abandoning. There's Mariupol, which is super important to the Ukrainians now. It's a port city on the Sea of Azov, but it's where they had their last stand. I don't know how well did you guys follow the steel plant, the Azov battalion? These guys, This is where it gets real complicated. These guys were actual Nazis.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Oh, these guys.
These guys,
Yeah.
but they're also proud Ukrainians. And when your country's getting invaded, you take whatever help you can get, right?
Is that where one of our Ranger colonels kind of just got yanked out of there?
Yeah, I mean, some Americans,
Special Force American guy.
there's a couple of Americans have found their way.
Marched out of that plant. Interesting enough.
Advisors,
Not
okay?
sure how he found his way there.
Advisors. He was looking for a good price on steel, probably for the Lawrence Street Bridge and Lowell.
Getting a field report. I'm sure.
Saying you could buy steel real cheap at that moment in time. Should have sent Tom Golden over there. Could have talked his ear off, you know? But they held up for 3 months, and they it is. All right. This is a weird prediction that no one cares about except for me, but I'm going to make it. They held out for 3 months, and the Russian army had to stay and fight them. And it gave the rest of the country time to fight. Kiev, everywhere. Russia tried to take the whole country, and they lost. And they had to retreat back to the east and to the south. So these guys are national heroes. But some of them are Nazis. Like, it gets a little tricky here. So when the movie comes out, and it will come out, this is their Greek 300, this is their Alamo, this is whatever their last stand is. Like, it's going to be so Hollywood whitewashed, and it's just going to be like, there'll be a Ukrainian Jewish guy in there trapped with them, and the Nazis going to save him you know what I mean? It's like, I see this coming a mile away. It's just the way Hollywood does it. It's a great movie if the heroes weren't Nazis.
I heard Kyrie Irving bought the rights.
Oh. Oh.
Then maybe the ending will be a little bit different.
Yeah, maybe.
So there you go. Eventually, Russia will get forced back over their borders by spring. I think even before then. Like, they can't survive. They don't have food. They have no supplies. They're toast.
That'd be good. Like,
but they will fall back
to Crimea. Let's just call it.
What's the thing? They'll fall back to Crimea. If they make their last stand in Crimea, Putin's nuclear threat, I think he might actually mean it there.
Well, that's when if you're the U.S. to say, all right, you take the deal, we're done with you.
Exactly. I mean, that's okay. And I'm down with the hardcore pro-Ukrainians. Like,
no, I get it.
Screw that. We're taking everything back. Russia can't stop us. We're the more powerful army, and they are. But this is where America might need to step in and say,
it's too much of a risk.
Yeah. But there's people now that say that, and they're wrong. The people that say it now, let's just call it, no, Ukraine has got the upper hand, clearly. Let them take back at least to the 2014 borders. Maybe a little more, a little 10% for the big guy, you know? But once it gets to Crimea, Putin will threaten nuclear war, and he'll mean it if Putin's still in power there. It's going to get real tricky.
But I don't necessarily think that if you got rid of Putin, you'd have somebody that was more reasonable. Because there's a lot of hardliners in Russia right now.
Anyone that takes out Putin is going to be worse. That's a fact. So,
you almost...
not... Everyone thinks of Navalny, right? The guy that's in jail, and he's got another one of these doctors. Like, again, Navalny's not taking... No liberal is... You're not going to win an election against Putin. You're going to kill him and replace him. And it's going to be a hardcore dude.
I think the best...
I keep saying dude. Stop me from saying that.
The best scenario, I think, is you end up with, you go back to the 2014 border, whatever. Putin stays in power, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, I don't think Putin can stay in power from that.
But you want this to be over before.
So again, say, and remember the CIA. We're talking to higher up Russians right now. It's weird that the FSB is the modern day KGB. That's their home intelligence, but they run everything, and they're the most feared people in Russia, just like the KGB was with the Soviets. There's fractions of that which aren't as hardcore, but that could take over. Like, it's an oligarchy. It's a kleptocracy. You can't just have democracy. Like, someone hardcore has to come in, take over, but stop the war too. And you might be rooting for the FSB to step in.
Is San Francisco now a kleptocracy because everybody just steals stuff?
It kind of is, yes. But it's the opposite.
Kleptocracy?
I mean, yeah, in Russia, they steal it from the top. San Francisco, it's more poorer people stealing. So
stealing from each other.
It's not as bad. All right, so there you go. There's your Ukraine update, your Raytheon update. They don't make the HIMARS. HIMARS are this year's Tickle Me Elmo. Everyone wants them. They do make the HARMS missile, though. Raytheon HARM missile.
That's a great name for a missile.
HARM?
Yeah.
It's awesome. High-speed anti-radiation missile. What it does is it takes out the Russian air defense. Russia's supposed to have the best air defense in the world. But
Not looking so good.
What happens is, hey, what the hell? Let's go deep into the weeds for a second. HIMARS get shot. Russia has supposedly had the best air defense system. It's called the S system, S-200, S-400, S-500. And once the HIMARS go off, the radar turns on, they shoot at them, and now the HAR missile made by Raytheon, our people, detects the radar and takes out their anti-aircraft system. So this is like the number 2 most wanted weapon in the world right now. HIMARS 1,
Harm.
2. And now we have the NASMs coming in too, but that's for next week's episode, all right? All right. How long have we been going here?
Probably about 40 minutes.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, damn, I yap a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Sure do.
I gotta find your joke before we leave here.
That'll be.
Yeah, whatever.
Just watch you turn pages.
Oh, well, you know what? Now you can't watch me. I control the microphone. Is there anything important you guys want to get off your chest? Tomorrow is election day, even though we're not sure this will be aired.
To tomorrow's elections, actually.
How about
We need to shake things up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
live coverage right here, right?
Absolutely.
I know I'll be on. Teddy's like, yeah, come in at 7. We'll go to like 7, 10, 11. Like, whoa, slow down. I got a 9 o'clock
I
bedtime.
don't think they're not going to know anything for days, though.
Yeah, well, how many races? I was just going to ask that. How many races do you think are going to carry over multiple days here? I think
I think a
Pennsylvania
lot of
is
them
probably the front runner. Georgia, actually,
No, Georgia might. Pennsylvania might carry over.
Georgia's like cleaned up their act, right?
Well, their act is a little off
Theoretically.
because you have to have
But still Georgia.
someone's got to get 50% of the vote, and there's a third-party candidate. So these guys are razor thin 50-50. If the Libertarian, I forget, Green Party, someone, if they get 1% of the vote, it's going to be a runoff. So listen, my chaos theory has been very effective in predicting things in the last couple of years. What is the most chaotic results we could get is that the entire Senate will come down to Georgia, and Georgia will be a runoff. So in 4 weeks from tomorrow, they would do the runoff, which means the whole country just goes crazy and everything pours into Georgia, and you have Herschel Walker. That is the craziest possible scenario, I think, besides some Trump nonsense. But
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen, actually.
Sounds like Trump telling the voters to stay home.
I truly think the Republicans are going to win the Senate and win it all. But if there is the chaos theories in play, that means Georgia goes to a runoff and $500 million pours into the state just because. By the way, they're breaking records for early voting.
Yeah, I heard that.
Jim Crow ain't what it used to be. Those Jim Crow laws, huh?
They said there's a lot, even in Lowell, they said there was a lot of early voting. I mean, it's people like this.
What do you
going
guys
to
think
polls,
about the wide open early voting? Do you? I know you like it, right? Because it's more convenient for you.
No.
The more I think
to vote
about
on
it,
election day.
I think you need to vote on election day.
I like
You
to
need
vote on
go
election day.
and show up at the
But now I'm
polls.
okay.
The way things are right now,
Early voting's fine.
I think the way things are right now, it's fine doing the early voting.
Early voting's
I mean,
great, actually.
Nothing wrong with it because you can't. Once it's in, it's in. You can't go and like take it back, whatever. So you kind of run the risk of like something like some crazy scandal happening, whatever.
Right.
But what my preference would be, you make it a national holiday, and you got to go in person. But you got to make it a national holiday. Only because who doesn't want another national holiday?
I'll have to check with the teachers union on that one. I think maybe we'd be okay with the holiday.
They're opening negotiations 3 national holidays, but we'll settle for 1.
No, wouldn't that be cool? Like, because all right, you got voters, people vote in schools, right? So you got a lot of people that like kids staying home from school. It's a pain, right? You got all these places that are open. Everything's got like shut everything down. Let people go to work. I mean, let people go vote.
I don't like it. Military service people who are overseas and people who are out of town or ill, they should be able to early vote. Everyone else needs to show up.
What's wrong with what's wrong with early voting?
I don't like it.
Mail-in voting?
Because it opens the door for fraud.
Mail-in opens
Right.
wide open.
Yeah.
Early voting, when you show up and you go to the senior center and vote, who cares?
I don't want to just do internet voting. That'd be fine.
Oh, yeah,
go
that's gonna be
wrong.
great. That's going to happen, by the way.
And by the way, all these votes that have already come in, why do they wait till tomorrow to count them?
So you
idea?
can't.
So it can take forever?
Well, yeah, no.
Well, no, 'cause
that
you can't-
information will get out there.
Feels like a little bit of a backdoor hack.
It's human beings writing those numbers down, and I say, oh,
Yeah, you don't
hey,
want that leaked out because then, so and so doesn't.
hey, Lori Trahan, you're losing. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
Not looking good.
or hey, Lori Trahan, give me 50 grand.
Yeah, those of us who are laying 220 on Mehmet Oz, I need this information.
I mean, it would be
220 on
By
Dr.
the way,
Oz.
now-
Oh my
now
God.
what do you guys think about this bet? So if you can bet that the Republicans win both the House and the Senate,
Well, the House
the
is
odds
easy.
on that is minus 220.
That I would take right now.
yeah. That I would.
That is a better bet than Dr. Oz, straight up. Because then you're going to factor in the Herschel Walker race. You get the Arizona, Mark Kelly, whatever race. No, that's your guy, right? No, wait,
Who'd I take?
was it J.D. Vance? Who did you say?
Vance or Mast?
Blake Masters, you said. Sorry.
Blake Masters. Yeah.
You got J.D. Vance could win in Ohio. You got that one. You've got
JD Vance is definitely going to win.
Wisconsin. Johnson's he's pulling ahead. He's going to win. Trying to think of some of these other closer races. Maggie Hassan could lose to Don Bulldogs.
That's a great nickname, though. Wisconsin Johnson.
Wisconsin Johnson.
Yeah, the New Hampshire one's going to be tight.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Actually,
Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada's close.
Nevada's very close.
Arizona. Did we talk about Arizona?
Yeah, that's your guy. Yeah, no, it's we'll see. Another interesting one would be if your guy. Do you like Dr. Oz, or are you just betting on him? Just lie to me and say you don't like him.
I'm just taking. I'm not a big Oz guy necessarily.
Whoa,
How do you?
it sounds kind of is a little bit there.
No. How could you possibly support Fetterman? Like, I can't speak. Like, how do you? He wants to let everyone out of jail. Like, I don't know. How do I get behind those?
Yeah, but then he said, "Put everyone in jail."
Yeah.
Put everyone in jail.
Everyone out of jail. Everyone in jail. It's like listening to Biden just ramble on about nothing. You know.
We'll see. Another interesting one. Another very possible scenario is that again, the Republicans have got to get to 51. 50 doesn't get it done with the vice president. If they get to 51 with Oz winning, kind of being the last one, and he pulls it off, and it's really close, whoever ran Fetterman's campaign and told him to do that debate should be thrown out of politics forever, right? Like it's
Wait a minute.
if Fetterman
Polling
loses,
at 50%, the person running Fetterman's campaign must be a miracle worker.
no. He was up by like 8 points, 10 points before the debate.
How could that possibly be?
I don't know. I don't make
how
polls
could
in
anyone say,
Pennsylvania,
"I'm
but
gonna
he
vote for this
was.
guy"?
He was up huge, and it's
It's been. I mean,
I'm a big fan of the trust fund baby who's going to do it for the people too. I love
say
it.
if Fetterman loses right by 0.5 right percent, whatever it is, something really close. Absolutely, the debate swung it. The debate, there's no question about it.
Well, the debate should have swung.
I'm saying if you're
You watch that debate, you
you're the
voted for it.
Democratic Party, the National Party, you're Biden and your agenda, and the billions of dollars poured into all these races and everything you've done, and just like some idiot like me is like, dude, you should do that debate, man. You'll kick his butt. That's Dr. Oz. Whoever made that decision, oh. But I guess we'll see when we come back next week.
The situation that cracks me up is the Don Bolduc situation, right? Where the Democrats have been bankrolling.
Oh yeah, no, he's not the only one.
So, you get these Democrats, I would never support a election denier and this and that. And they're pumping a ton of money into the Bolduc campaign. And,
Oh no, they put
and now they've created a monster.
Yeah, no, in the
overtake
primary.
them.
Chuck
It's
Morse.
actually crazy.
They were a
The
little
Democrats actually paid for Bolduc to knock them out of the Senate.
It's true.
I think it's hilarious.
I mean, the other guy, Chuck Morse, was a nice guy in the Republican primary, but he's a bit of a dud. I mean, just no energy. He's like an old Jeb Bush. So yeah, that one. That's another
low
one.
energy Jeb.
Again, if there's all these scenarios that play out, if Republicans get to 51 because Hassan lost, and they buried themselves.
Yeah.
We'll see. We will find out all of this soon enough. But thanks for joining us. Inside Lowell, we're on the board.
Yep.
If I look super uncomfortable, it's because I am. Not used to this TVs and running cameras and doing it all. Hey, you want one more? Oh, that's like, I'm going to get divorced when I get home. Ooh. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in a week or so or whatever.
yeah. See,
A couple days, maybe a week, whatever.
we'll be back tomorrow, whenever tomorrow is. It's hard to tell in the time warp.
Stay tuned. See ya.
Have a good one.